So you saw our vegan family and you want to join in, or you saw me eating a vegan diet and you want to join in the fun, see what it's all about. Or maybe you know full well that a vegan diet works splendidly and you're just having a hard time getting back on track. This video is all about eating vegan despite the fact that it seems like no one else is. Or at least very few people are. Hold on a second, let me get outside and talk about this. What kind of parent do you want to be? What kind of example do you want to set for your children when they're offered something by their peers that you think might not be too healthy, that might be detrimental to them? This is an opportunity. Now the first thing you need to do in order to face the world and face the social challenges as a vegan is to recognize that all the cards are in your favor. Whether it's sustainability, whether it's health, or whether it's compassionate, peaceful living, all three are working in your favor. Remember that first and foremost. Second thing to remember that relationships shouldn't be first and foremost about food. The relationship with the other person, with the people, with your family, that's first and foremost. Food comes under that. Food is an activity that you do once you've established, hey, I value you, I want to spend time with you, you're the first priority. Food is an activity that we can do together, and there's many ways we can still enjoy plant-based foods. Now that we've got that primer in place, let's take a look at various scenarios that inevitably will pop up. You show up at a family event and uncle starts razzing you, starts giving you a hard time, or grandpa or grandma starts giving you a hard time. Why aren't you eating my food? Why aren't you doing this? You look like you're losing a lot of weight. You look skinny. What's going on? Whatever stuff they toss at you, there's going to be a lot of stuff. And remember, a lot of that stuff is coming from their own internal problems and issues with their own lifestyle, their own body image, their own dietary choices. So it's not always going to be just on you. A lot of it's their own stuff. How are you going to address it? How are you going to meet it? With a smile. Smile. Let them say whatever they want, and you just retort with, hey, I'm feeling fantastic. Hey, my doctor's not concerned about my protein levels. I feel fantastic. You want to go for a run? Just remember and remind them how great you feel. And inevitably, certain people will choose to not respect your decision. They'll want to degrade your opinion or rip into it or express their own frustration or whatever it is, trying to convince you otherwise. They're not going to respect it. That's okay. You have to remember and give them some allowance. It's family and friends. Family and friends see us a certain way. They have you locked in as you were. If you're making changes, if you're becoming a better version of yourself, there's going to be a transition period where the people that know you best tend to have a little rebellion of their own. Some people will support you, give them a smile and give them a hug, and other people still smile and hug at them, but they're going to resist your changing because they know you a certain way, and it's a fear that, hey, if they change, if you make a change and become too healthy, maybe you won't want to hang out with them. Maybe you won't value them as much anymore. It's a fear-based reaction that they might lose their relationship with you. So be mindful of that and be even more compassionate to those people who are trying to convince you or get angry with your decision. You stay happy, you stay peaceful, you remind them that you're feeling happy, that you're feeling fantastically healthy and fit, and over time, you always win out. That has been proven in my experience, that you will win out time and time and time again, no matter how. I had family members who were so ardently telling me that I was going to be protein deficient, I was going to have other mineral deficiencies, and now they're asking me for vegan recipes. Now they're asking me for health advice because 8 years later, I'm still fit and healthy. They're still struggling. They're still figuring out what supplements to take. Now in the beginning, when I made that transition to a vegan lifestyle, I didn't even want to make a transition to a vegan lifestyle, but when I found out about it and realized that I could live without harming animals, I realized I probably should. If I can live without kicking the cat, why wouldn't I live without kicking the cat? And then I realized how great I felt. It became hard for me to ignore the vegan lifestyle, and so I stuck with it. And when I made those first visits to family gatherings, I was tempted. But what I remembered, and I was even more tempted when people were telling me I was going to have problems and telling me how good the food was, I became tempted. But what I remembered was a deeper truth. I remembered I had an opportunity to teach these people. I had an opportunity to shine the light for my family. The opportunity to be extremely compassionate, extremely peaceful, extremely conservative in my food choices rather than indulging, rather than participating in something I found to be a violent act because it was unnecessary. Harming an animal is unnecessary for food, which makes it a violent act. If it's unnecessary force, we call that violence. I don't have to eat animals, so I don't want to eat animals. showing up in my family gathering, and if I had eaten animals, I would have only given everybody else more reason to continue doing what they were doing. But by seeing me say, you know what, actually thank you for reminding me, but I have a choice here, and I don't want to participate in that unhealthy food. I don't want to participate in that unsustainable food, in that violent food act. I'd rather eat my fruits and vegetables. I'd rather eat my plant-based meal that I brought. If you'd like to share some of this, feel free. And one thing you will notice, especially if you have the opportunity to be part of a large family or go to family gatherings or social gatherings, is that you'll be the biggest influence on the young people. You'll be the biggest influence on the children. You seem to be a strong, assertive person. You're a human being who has made a decision, and regardless of people around you, you still live your truth. Kids respect that. We tend to respect that. We see those people as heroes in our society who, despite the influences around them, despite the forces around them, they've identified something as being a peaceful, healthy, sustainable solution, and they stick to it. That's what veganism is. So I encourage you to stick with it. I encourage you to be the example, be the lighthouse. Yes, it could be a challenge. Yes, I'm not denying that. I'm not saying it's going to be really easy every time, and there's not going to be some confrontation that you might slip up and get angry yourself or get frustrated, or you might slip up and eat some food. But you have the opportunity to be a vegan lighthouse, to be a lighthouse for peace, for sustainability, and for health. Yes, there'll be challenges, but it's far preferable to face those challenges and be the leader rather than waiting till everybody else chooses to eat a vegan lifestyle, waiting till everybody else chooses to stop harming animals unnecessarily, to live in a more sustainable lifestyle, and then you'll choose. Is that really you want to do? You want to wait till everybody else makes a decision and then you'll join in? Or are you okay with leading from the front? Are you okay with being an example of health, peace, and light? And for the parents out there, what a fantastic opportunity to show kids how you handle peer pressure. When everybody else wants you to eat something, they all want you to do something, how do you handle yourself? You have an opportunity to be a calm, peaceful example of what you'd like to see in the world, or you could acquiesce, or you could buck, and you could go, and you could bend unto everybody else's whim. What kind of parent do you want to be? What kind of example do you want to set for your children when they're offered something by their peers that you think might not be too healthy, that might be detrimental to them? This is an opportunity. Go vegan, stay vegan, and it's only a matter of time before your friends and family join you.